Colm Hoof have been directly involved in shedding the blood of at least 17,000 innocent Iranians. Next up, Sweden is such a loyal lapdog to the US, I think they are competing with Poland. They have held an Iranian government official in solitary confinement for 32 months on charges made by a known Iranian terrorist group, the MKO. And our final post, Sweden has cited MKO, NCRI Mujahideen cult, a terrorist organization which keeps hostages in Albania. It has abducted an Iranian citizen and is organizing a kangaroo court on behalf of a criminal cult leader, Maryam Rajavi. This is totally illegal and criminal. So, Simon Abbas, do you think that this court and this case was in any shape or form influenced by the US or by a European country or a combination of both in terms of making sure that Mr. Ahmad Nouri was not only prosecuted but given a heavy sentence and unfortunate case of torture, as we have been, have heard through some sources that he's experiencing?
Absolutely, it is. There is no Zio-Western institution which isn't influenced by the Israel lobby, which doesn't have to pander to the agendas and the interests of Israel and the Zionist lobby around the world. There is no way that any of these things happen without the involvement of deep state. So whether it's Mossad, the CIA, MI6, the fact remains that there is a concerted, unified campaign against the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is being participated in by all of these institutions, both deep state and both the frontline institutions. And I'm afraid that the legal system, people often think of the Western legal system as though it's really totally just. That's poppycock. The reality is that as and when required, when it's in the interests and not to do with the political ethics or the morality of a situation, they will bend the rules. And that's what they've done on this occasion. The fact of the matter remains that this court would have known very well who the MKO are. They would have known very well the witnesses that were coming forward had, if you like, compromised interests and had a less than impartial, if you like, attitude towards Mr. Nouri. And this is part of a broader campaign, as I said, whether it's hijacking Iranian oil tankers, whether it's creating psyops within Tehran by Israeli assassins, whether it's actually bullying Iran in the JCPOA nuclear agreements. All of this, including this incident of the arrest of this Iranian citizen, the illegal arrest of this Iranian citizen, is all part of that campaign. Look, Tony Blair and George Bush stand as two of the biggest criminals in terms of war criminals that one can imagine. Even the people here in the West know full well that Tony Blair, etc., lied and actually committed the murder, essentially, of millions and millions of people across Western Asia. That murder continues. Those wars continue. Yet, is Sweden going to arrest Tony Blair when he turns up using these judicial techniques they've suddenly miraculously unveiled for Iran? No, of course they're not. So this is selective targeting of Iran based on political motivations, based on Zionist and Israeli American influences in the background. And I think it's a day of shame for the Swedish system. It's a day of shame for the Swedish court mechanisms and the justice system, because they really thoroughly exposed themselves as being totally unjust.
Sure. And final question goes to you, Hania Tarkin. I have to mention this because our team over in Sweden, when they were trying to cover the story, got attacked by these cult members and supporters of the MKO. Doesn't that show the violent nature, which is maybe a window into the way that this cult group operates?